would like to acknowledge the Yugara, Jagera and Ugarable people, traditional owners of the land I know as Ipswich, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. First Australians of the Ipswich region came close to being wiped out in the early 1800s by European settlers. Ipswich became an industrious place which mimicked Britain's industries such as mining and railway workshop, as well as farming. Queen's Park is where the few Yugara survivors congregated after being forced out of their homeland around Ipswich. Through government policy, they were sent to Deebing Creek, where a mission was opened on the southwestern outskirts of Ipswich. There is now a colourful Indigenous mural at Queen's Park, but Ipswich is still very much a colonial city. It seemed the traditional owners had not only lost their land, they also lost their voice. They were given a chance when Neville Bonner entered federal politics in the 1970s. Having moved to Ipswich some 10 years earlier, Neville Bonner joined an Aboriginal activist group, One People of Australia League, before taking up with the Liberal Party and being elected into the Australian Senate in 1971. Neville Bonner was renowned for promoting the cultural identity of First Australians in Queensland. He had buildings, schools and bridges named in his honour. Neville Bonner paved the way for services such as the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Legal Service and Cambu housing and medical practice, which are highly valued and much needed services for First Australians in Ipswich. A new day is dawning for First Australians. They're finding their voice and securing their rights after nearly being wiped out in colonial ideologies. When Kevin Rudd became Prime Minister and gave the sorry speech, First Australians' rights really gained momentum. There is still a lot more to be done, though, to right the wrongs of the genocide of First Australians. The Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples was endorsed in Australia in 2009. We now see traditional smoking ceremonies at the opening of new buildings, reconciliation action plans developed in all sorts of agencies, elders perform a welcome to country for events, and acknowledgement of traditional owners and elders is made at gatherings. The Warragee Aboriginal Corporation and 5 bridges have been established in Ipswich in recent years, both providing social and justice services to First Australians. Ipswich is now home to a unique school for First Australians. The Himbayumba Community Hub at Springfield was born out of the need to improve educational and social outcomes for First Australians with a focus on closing the gap for those in the Logan to Ipswich corridor. With 209 students in 2016, the school has specialist programs to develop the cultural learning of jargons, First Australian word for young people. The attendance rate is over 85% across most year levels. Yugara language is promoted. Jullum Jullum means woolly wagtail bird. Their new newsletter is named after the woolly wagtail. How have I engaged in the Indigenous community in my life? I have a growing Mununjali family. I welcome friends into my home. I support Indigenous business. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land when I hold gatherings and advocate for, promote and work with First Australians whenever I get the opportunity and value their input. Special thanks to Auntie Vera for her input into this video. I thank the First Australians of Ipswich for the images of their ancestors and apologise if this short film has stirred any unhappy feelings.